Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is Strawman Gaming. I'm your Strawman. Look! 8.3 science. Delicious science. No XP. Because all you've done is go on the planet a million times. So, if you watched last episode, which I hope you did, if you didn't, I encourage you to go do so. It's in the playlist, in the bottom right of the... Just below this, there'll be a playlist. Just go down and click on the previous one. But you'll know that we have a Kerbal stranded on the moon with lovely Valentina. So, I don't have the skills, or maybe the fuel. Maybe what I was trying to do was like thermodynamically impossible to bring her home. So, we're gonna build a rocket to go get her. Because I'm hoping saving someone from the surface of a planet is easier than orbit. So, need a command pod. I don't trust myself to do it at Probe core, or probe core of any sort. So, let's bring this up. Because if we're taking a lot of mass off the planet and bring a lot of it back, we're going to need... Also, a point of note, I've been confusing the service bay, I think, with the Science Boy Jr., I think it's called. Oh, I'm thinking of the Scooty Puff Jr. from Futurama. What symbol? Science, yes, because what looks to be a hydrogen atom with 3 electrons, which very strange and probably deadly molecule, symbolizes science. This just collects a different kind of science. Oh, that's what he was talking about. That's what stores the results. This is a different kind of science. These all produce science. This produces one kind of science, but a lot of it. And they get stored in this, and the service bay, these can all go in that to protect it, I think. But that's an irrelevance. So, we've got 500,000 space dollars. So, for this project, money is no object. I'm not going to bother worrying about budget, because we need Valentina back. I need to get my microphone out of my way, because it's giving me a migraine. Okay, so first things first, we need a crew thing, because she has to come home. You know, without a crew thing, we'll just get to the moon like, oh, hi Valentina, you know, we've not forgotten about you. And I've sent someone for moral support. Is that a new button? I wouldn't have thought so. Right, microphone, you're gonna have to move way over there. Okay, that still sounds okay, I think. So, is it payload? Pods? Payload? Where is crew pod? Utility? Crew pod. Mark 1 crew cabin. That's what she'll come home in. Okay, and then, before I forget, thermal. Denoted by fire. Angle this slightly forwards. Heat shield on the bottom. Lovely. And as for parachutes, that is utility. Drugs are useless, so go with these and just 2. You know, the more mass we have, you know, the worse. Great sentences. Great. Let's go with 1450. And you too. Oh, sugar. Right. Okay. I was gonna say I might put a fairing around this, but I think that'd be useless. That probably because that'll create a low pressure zone there that will probably create like little vortexes, and that might, because remember, you know, people seem to think that a pickup flatbed is better if you leave the tailgate down, but actually it's better if you leave it up because it creates like a pocket of air that makes it like the pickup has a smooth roof. Maybe this would be like that, but maybe not. Maybe that looks dope. maybe it's a waste of time. I haven't unlocked fairings. I'll just ignore it. It probably creates very, very little drag in the grand scheme of things. So the next thing you need is a coupling. That is a tiny little coupling. That's the huge one, am I correct? Yes, I am. This. Then we need... shit, this is... because we're trying to get this off the surface of the moon, we're going to need a lot more fuel. Because when we're trying to take off from the moon, we've kind of got all the same problems we have taking off from Earth, in that, you know, the rocket equation still stands. So to get this much off the planet, we have to leave a proportional amount behind. And, you know, a lot of that can be left behind as exhaust gases from propellants. But maybe we're going to need staging. So how much does this weigh? I will... utility? Is it utility? Yes. So this weighs a ton. A literal ton. And the crew thing weighs basically a ton, and the parachutes weigh... yeah, so this is basically 2 tons. I don't think Kerbals have mass, but I might be wrong. So I reckon we're going to need... so first things first, we've got this, so that's useful. See, there's a problem. Because this is going to be very, very tall. In terms of ground, I've only got micro struts. Oh, wheels! Which you can manually adjust them. And micro struts aren't ideal. I'd want 4 of them anyway. As low as you'll go. And I want to make them starting brain. There. Spring strength. Yeah, crank that. Because this is much heavier. To the point that I'm not entirely convinced this will stand up. So perhaps we put these up here. So the... I need this to still open though, is the thing. Well, actually, these can get attached to the bit of the thing that's getting left on the moon. Okay, let's really think outside the box. And there's a reason the box is there. I recognize that. The box is good. People smarter than me have developed the box. No, okay. Okay. Brain. Stack decoupler. No. Yes. No. Fuel. Ooh, it's a huge one. But anyway, there. How big is it? 4.5 tons. 2.25 tons. Go big or go home. You know, that's what I've always said. And engines. See, do they list? Yeah, impulse. So See, on the right it says engine ISP, which is specific impulse, and that's 85 seconds in atmosphere, or 345 in a vacuum. 345 is really high. Like, that's much higher than the second stage Merlin engine gets on the Falcon 9, which is one of the most efficient engines going. I think the Saturn V second stage engines were higher, but they had other issues that made them less reusable and less reliable, I believe. So that's actually really good. 350, that's so high. What about these? 305. So these are very efficient in atmosphere as well. Holy crap, that's so much more thrust. But it is a lower specific impulse. So I feel like... Okay, so this is the most efficient. So this can be our main engine for our return stage. This is part of what's going to land on the moon, but around it we will have I'll put these a little bit lower. This is going to look like Thunderbird 3. The 5. 3. The big rocket one. So then we're going to go... Where's big boy again? This. Okay. And then... Because I recognize this is all mass I have to decelerate. But worst comes to worst, these can just get ejected and this can land for me. Am I being idiotic? Almost certainly. But I love it, I don't care. You know. And these are all going to have turbo engines. So the thrust is pretty high. I kind of want to give them these as well. No, that's just stupid. That's too stupid. And we're already dealing with pretty stupid. Here's the thing. Is it worth having these as big? No, I don't think it is. Because, yes, it's more fuel to burn, but it's also more fuel to decelerate. So, we'll make these small boys, which means we should move these down. And by small, I mean still fairly large boys. And engines. But, okay. Oh, I'm going into a parts limit. Oh, no, I'm not. I've got millions of parts. Cool. Cool. Structural. Why am I so useless? Yes! Struts. Because rigidity is your friend. Struts aren't physics enabled in terms of interacting with the atmosphere, so it only provides rigidity. I don't even believe it adds mass. I know it says it does, but I don't think it does. And then you definitely get nose cones. So this is going to be what actually lands on the moon. Okay. It does kind of look a bit penisy, but that's okay. And then beneath each of these, we want a decoupler. Because this is going all the way to the ground like this. So let's do the central one first. And the outer ones. Oh, yes. Sorry, I should do my staging. So this will be full when we go to take off. And I'm gonna have to light this engine at the same time that these decouple. Yeah, so they'll have to be in the same stage. What am I doing? Okay, structural. Don't do me like that. You connect to you. Nope. There we go. And these get terriers as well. And then we're getting down to our launch engines now. You know these are coming. Launch engines. I thruster weight is going to be a factor, but hopefully this will negate a lot of that. Fuel. Yes, it is quite big. And this is the orbital thing. So I'm only going to put one of these, because these are only there to... the middle one can be a swivelly. The rest of them can be reliance. And then a coupling. This is going to be an absolute nightmare to stage properly. Go on here, and then engines. Swap these. Oh, don't forget the nose cones. Otherwise this rocket would be idiotic. Bit of more structural. Struts. For days. You get straight to that. I should do the other side as well, because these have a lot of power going through them. And then I also want launch stabilizers. I know it's dumb, but I kind of think it's sexy. Oh yes. Star attractors. And you get stiffened. Yeah, I like it. So, staging. So we want these and these to go at the same time. I just want these to light too. Did I stage these to... No, because they'll all fall off at the same time. Although I should stage them into the mid. No, because they're all gonna fall off at the same time. So these all burn. When these are finished, they fall off. And then when the next engines are finished, they fall off. Then, okay, you should light with everything else. So they're all lighting. They're falling off. They're falling off. They are lighting. Is there an engine in there that I'm missing? That one. So they three light. That falls off. No. Okay, wait. So these have gone. Then we get to this stage. That light, they light, and then Did I not put... Oh, what? Oh, that one should be down here. Okay, so they've all gone. These engines have lit. When they've gone, that will decouple with that. Then these will light, and I can use them to land. And then when I go to take off, I want these to light on the same thing. Ah, parachutes. Parachutes, parachutes, parachutes. Yeah, that'll do. And they can go in their own stage. So I'm going to save this. Cancel. Ludicrous. Rescue. Craft. Is that how you spell ludicrous? It's even better if it's wrong. I'd prefer it to be wrong. Save. Crew. Is it worth taking an extra one just to get them leveled up? Yeah, why not? And we've still got a seat for Valentina coming back. Sorry, Bill. Bill's too precious to risk, because let's not forget Bill is Elon. So... action groups still scare me, so I'm just going to ignore them. And we're going to go for... these should be tuned for maximum power. Is that correct? Yes. Launch. Shit. Can I afford to upgrade my launch pad? Yes. That's problem solving like a pro. I love how high this is. I haven't checked if the thrust to weight ratio is greater than 1, so there could be some serious problems here. So, maximum thrust. All these candles are light at once. Are you ready? This is the moment we've all been waiting for. This could be the start of an amazing journey, you know, to rescue. I assume Jebediah and Valentina are in love. That only seems to make sense in the canon. Can love conquer all? Well, thrust to rate doesn't seem to be a problem, to the point that I'm going to scale this back significantly and lock to prograde. Look at me. She's really moving. Very little control authority because I've only got one gimbling engine. I'd go as far as to say no control authority. So, no, too fast, too soon. Don't want to see the whole of the moon. Well, this is just supersonic. It's not red yet, so that's okay. Waiting for the sword fuel boosters to burn off. We're going the wrong way around the planet, but I guess we'll just... I was gonna say, I guess we just lean into it at this point, but... Have they all gone out? Yep. So now we have control authority. Yeah, let's go the wrong way around the planet. I don't see why not. Okay, we have done absolutely no gravity turning because we need more control authority. Do you know what? Sack this. Apparently we're going the right way now? And then stage again. We are still in the atmosphere, so I'm a little bit... I don't want to push my luck too far. I'm just going to keep on doing this. I suspect we're not going to have enough thrust to get into a circularized orbit, though. Because, you know, we're literally slowing down. So these need to be a bigger engine, or I need to add some more of those thumper engines on the side that I like so much. I knew I wasn't crazy. Yes. So it's this stage that's underpowered. Zoom in. Enhance. 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 There we go. So... how many? Hella is the answer to that. I mean, other than that, it's practically perfect. Actually, control authority has been something of an issue. So, we are gonna add some swivelly boys. Slightly lower efficiency, but I think the gravity assist is worth it. So, this. So you should light at the same time. Where's the middle one? You should be in that group. I was hoping not to have to do this again. So you all go at once. Then the next thing should be them. It is. Then that and that. Then you light, you light, you light, you light. The rest of it should still be correct. Save. Do it again. So yes, on. Thrust on liquid engines set to maximum. Staging is correct. Let's resume our journey of love. That's so loud. It's so unnecessary. Just teasing it across. I've got too much control here, I think, to spin out of control. I want to keep it inside the prograde circle anyway. Oh, I didn't retract my legs, but they're not physics enabled anyway. Get outside the prograde circle for a moment. So our liquid fuel engines have run out before our solid fuel because I left them on too high. Stage that. Stage that. Okay, so we're accelerating this time, which is an improvement. Got tons of control authority, so I'm quite happy to go like stupid far outside the prograde marker. And let's scale this back a bit. There we go. It's much more sensible. Let's let it climb. Actually, let's hit this up again. Let's circularize at about 100. Okay. So from here, add maneuver. Slightly off. Bim, bim, bim. Then circular. Maybe this would be a good place to shoot for the moon straight away. No. Circularize to about there. Looks right. So, tiniest bit of thrust to give us control of this big beast. On the... No, don't revert. Yes, off, and now on. Hold me here. Lovely. Cut that. Oh, I should have gone by now. Going. It's not going to be very circular orbit. I think that's pretty clear because we went so late and we're going to be past apoapsis for some of the burn. For way too much of the burn, actually. So I kind of want to turn a bit more skywards, away from the planet. Don't know if that actually matters that much, but it makes me feel better. And we'll continue our circularization. Look how slowly this is going up. Because we're past our breaths and we're going back towards the planet, so... Oh, because all my engines have gone out, okay. Does this not have fuel? Is this no longer attached to me? Is that the problem here? So, yeah, I don't have control of this. This is this is the problem. I shouldn't have had that staging there. So this is a write-off. Okay, revert flight to vehicle assembly, because that staging on the middle stage is not good. Oh no, it's not because it's staging. It's because it doesn't have its own set of rockets. So, this is too many. Or is it? So what if we put 3 around this one, but then stage into it? This is what makes me nervous when it does that. It doesn't, like, attach properly. Okay, when do you light? You should light then, when they light. Where are you? There you are. Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so... I think we need less thrust from these. We'll set it to max and then throttle it back to about there. Everything else seems okay. CS on. And away we go. Which I've got tons of controls. No, wrong button. get to about a third. Really should have fixed that when I was in vehicle bay. Just teasing it to the edge of the circle. Teasing it ever so gently and lovingly. Because this is a delicate spaceship. In a very fine balance. That is never going to work or get me to the moon, because I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm an incompetent and stupid man. For whom rocketry is a hobby that should long since have passed him by. We're not accelerating. We are now accelerating. I guess. Yeah, because our thrust is going to increase dramatically when we get to the next stage. And our thruster to weight will shoot up as well. There we go. I think a proper gravity turn will have you like circularized. When you get to the right altitude, you'll be going sideways enough to be circular anyway. I don't really know. So I'm still in the atmosphere, so I'm still experiencing more drag than I want to be. And this is going up very slowly, but it's also because I'm gaining a lot of horizontal speed. So you're at 82, so let's get to about 80, and then we'll circularize from there. I think. Yeah, loads of fuel still. I don't know, I think it looks quite sci-fi. So I would like this stage to get us to our lunar injection. And then this is just for landing on the moon, but I'm not optimistic about that happening, if I'm honest. Maneuver. Yep. About there. So, a little bit of thrust. Well, actually, it's entirely along prograde, so I'm on the maneuver node. It's just my nose will fall to this point. And I want to go now. I've never noticed this number coming down before. I don't know if that means I should start it, you know, the estimated burn time, however many seconds that says, that should I started at node in T minus, whatever. But this is going okay. It's got quite a lot of fuel, quite a lot of thrust. And we are nearly, wait for our apoapsis and periapsis to switch places. Which they won't exactly do, because we're slightly off angle. Okay, so from here we want to do a moonshot. Thank you. Dismissed. Yeah, we're in the right plane. So we just need to accelerate. By less than that. About About there. A little bit more. Damn. Stop clicking the wrong thing. There we go. Decelerate slightly. So where does that take us to? Speed up slightly. Okay, and then go slightly. That's not bad, you know. I think. Oh my, is that got me crashing into the moon? It might do. So let's. Yeah, there wasn't a parry, so I was crashing. So that's pretty solid. So 43-second burn. How do we get to that? Please. Oh, stop fighting me. Everything's reversed. Stop. Okay, so that's pretty close to that node. Okay, so we are slightly off axis there. So I need to go down. Down, I think? Yeah. Oops. Oh no, wait. Now what's happening? Are we crashing into the moon? What are we doing? I don't understand. So that seems all right. Yeah, that whatever, that'll do. I think this the energy or the velocity that I have to use to give myself control makes this slightly off. So this'll do. I've not got 43 seconds in the tank, so I'm gonna have to stage, but then I'll make this number even smaller, I think. Let's try it 43 seconds before. I've never done it, but let's see how that goes. Just feels logical to do it this way. I can think of why it isn't logical, but and then okay, so we're just operating on 3 engines. This middle one is for returning to Earth. Seems to be going to plan. Ish. Ready to cut when this says so. So moon encounter soon. Go. Okay. Thank you. And now we can go here. Maneuver. Can I focus on that? Wait, because Wait. Slightly off angle again, but that's okay. That can be fixed over here. Oh my goodness. Right, here we go. So we want to slow down. So that's circular. We're going to be flying over Valentina. So I'm relatively happy with that. And then Apo. When we're circularized, we'll save in orbit. And then we'll... Ow, bum's going absolutely numb. We'll save. And then probably the next episode, we'll actually attempt our landing. How are we for fuel? Quite good. 30-second burn to circularize and then land. And then all this fuel to get us home. Assuming this can take off. And assuming Valentina can actually get into it. But it should be quite stable because it's got this base. Hopefully this has enough fuel to get us to the actual planet. Otherwise this will never stand up. I'm sure I've put wheels on it because it's going to take off like horizontally. Let's warp here. So when should I discuss Kepler's laws? I guess now's as good time as any, when I've got a million years. So let's look at... My orbit here is extremely eccentric, right? And it's complicated because there's other bodies at play, but if we assume this is only orbiting the Earth, then there's Kepler's 3 laws of planetary motion. The first is that the body that you're orbiting around will be at one of the 2 loci of the ellipse of your orbit. If it's circular, it's in the center, and the loci are co-located. If it's elliptical, it's like here in... Well, because the moon makes it complicated. So it's like if an ellipse like this is drawn, if you had 2 pins, like say you put a pin here and here, and you put a bit of string around them, the path that you're... If you kept that string taut, like a loop of string, if you kept that string taut and traced it out, that is the shape of an elliptical orbit. The second law is the one I've mentioned before, which is a line between a satellite and the planet it's orbiting. That line sweeps out the same area in any given amount of time. So when you're close by, you know, you're going... This area here is very, very small. Whereas... So if you look at as an angular thing, take like 90 degrees there is a very small amount, but 90 degrees out here would mean sweeping out this entire area. So obviously, because it's such a small area, you have to go very, very fast. Well, because this is such a big area, let's go out here. If you go this far, you're going to sweep out quite a large area. To sweep out that same area close in, you have to go much faster. What I don't understand, and this is what's been confusing me, is that true for any orbit? It's true for any given orbit. So that will always be true for this exact orbital path. You know, the area you sweep out in 10 minutes over here is the same as over here as over here. The area from the loci to you is the same. If I came to here and then circularize this, so I'm orbiting outside the orbit of Minmus, is it still true then? Because I've added a lot of energy to the system. I know my orbit overall will be slower, but I can't... I looked at the maths, and the maths seem to be independent of everything other than just the radius and theta. So if it's independent of velocity, it's independent of mass, then it should mean any orbit You always sweep out the same area. So if you're going further out, you necessarily have to go more slowly. It's more, I guess it's different if, if Jupiter was orbiting at this distance, because then the center of the center of mass will be somewhere between the two planets. I mean, close to the surface of Jupiter, don't get me wrong. But then things will be more complicated. But in this, we can assume that the spaceship is massless. So that's why I was having trouble in the 2 episodes ago, where like you accelerate forwards and then accelerate forwards again. But I guess you're accelerating this way and accelerating that way. That doesn't kind of make any sense. So all you do is accelerate forwards and you end up going significantly slower than you started with, which makes perfect sense when you think about, if you looked at the energy equations, that's fine. But from an intuition level, you've accelerated twice and gone more slowly. It's just difficult to process, especially when you're trying to record a video, which is effectively live. This is like live TV. It's not broadcast live, unless you're watching on twitch.tv/strawman streaming. I can't even do a little advert right. So yeah, I've always understood Kepler's second law, I thought, until I had to apply it, and I was like, actually, maybe I don't understand this as well as I thought I did. I understand the theory, but putting it into practice is hard. It's like, try to think of a good example where theory and praxis are very different. The example that came to mind is so terrible. I have to tell you it. Just out of this needs to be known. I need to be criticized for it. It's like knitting. I understand what knitting is. It's just a very big, complicated knot. He said to me, "Oh, go do some knitting." I don't know how to knit. I can tie a knot, sure, but it's not the same as knitting. Could I talk any more bollocks? Oh yes, my reaction wheels are back in play. There's a reaction wheel in here, let's not forget. Later on, you can unlock more reaction wheels and just kind of stick them all over the thing to give you more control authority. And again, reaction wheels don't actually work like this in real life, but I can just lock to retrograde because I'm not bothering correcting for being off axis. Okay, this is getting exciting. I'm glad I'm playing this again. I'm glad I took a break because I was pretty sick of this game. And just like the nonsense, and I forget how much it looks like a Death Star. Just the nonsense with Kepler's second law screwing me and setting a second maneuver node when I've already got a maneuver node that I've passed, so the game just like starts to freak out and create this impossible maneuver that can't exist. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad we have a mission. And I'm glad it's a mission that I feel we have a ship that is capable of doing. Because remember, these are staging into the central one, so when these run out, which hopefully they'll be about a quarter or an eighth full when I land on the moon. When they run out and I eject them, the central one will be completely full. Although that would be the case anyway without the staging, because this middle engine isn't burning, so that's completely redundant. Can I manually? Do I need to have? Well, I can always move this staging into here if I want, and light this engine. I might be able to manually light it. Yeah, I could activate it if in the landing we don't have enough thrust to decelerate properly, and then the Aspargus staging will be valuable. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Balls. Shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter greatly, anyway. Man, that is freaking out. And shrinking. Lovely. I am very happy with that. So we have half a tank of fuel on this stage and a full tank on the next one. We are gonna orbit over the top. And this, like I said, it does revolve, but it revolves It's tidally locked, so, you know, in a full year. In a full lunar year, it revolves once. So we can basically assume it doesn't revolve for the purposes of trying to land on a Valentina. So that'll make that easier. Okay, so that's the end of the episode. Another 55-minute episode. The next one will probably be even longer, but that's okay. If you like the episode, hit that like button, leave a comment down below saying what you liked about it. If you didn't like the episode, hit the dislike button, leave a comment down below saying what you didn't like about it, or any advice you have. Like, shout out to Matt, Mashfat, who has been leaving some good feedback. Critical feedback, don't get me wrong. But feedback, and there is a lot to know in this game, and you need people correcting you and telling you, because it doesn't tutorialize very much, which is good, but it's also bad. You know, there's stuff I'm just never going to learn unless you tell me. So please do that. I mean, you content every single day, so you want to do more, hit that subscribe button. And people always talk about the bell. Hit the bell, it'll notify you, or don't. It's fine, just subscribe. There's loads of videos. It's been Stormman Gaming, I've been your Stormman, and I will see you tomorrow.